special Wednesday night edition. I'm your brother, Old Guy from Hip Hop News Uncensored. You already know, my man saying, man.
What it do, y'all? It's the brother saying, man, Viral Hip Hop News. We're in the building. I know you expect us on a Thursday, but we're here on a Wednesday, man, because we like to work. It's nonstop work. Me and Old Guy talk. We got a lot of topics going on today, so we wanted to get right to them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, first off, Old Guy, what's good with you, big dog?
Just chilling, man. You know, just doing the damn thing. Happy to be here. It's freezing out. It's freezing, literally, you know, but we here, man. You know, a few stories that we want to rap to the people about. So I'm going to jump right into it. But everybody listening, know as you come in, go ahead and hit the like button and go ahead and share the video because this one is going to be hot. I promise you. So I'm going to start with this first story, man. This one literally just came out by way of TMZ. They're saying that 3 known associates of Tekashi 6ix9ine just got hit up with federal indictments. But now what they're saying, though, they're saying that Tekashi 6ix9ine dropped a dime on one of them for the Chief Keef shooting. Now, they say that law enforcement sources told TMZ that, I'm not going to read these guys' names, but have all been indicted, you know, with crimes and related to the Tekashi 6ix9ine, you know, what he was doing now. More specifically, they're told that Mackenzie, whose AK named Kuda B, was indicted right after Tekashi spoke with investigators and pinned him as the trigger man at the Chief Keef shooting last June in Times Square. Now, this is an unprecedented, you know, accusation right now. Being as though it was a video, I forgot the brother's name that came out, pretty much saying that Shotty is the one right now, you know, who was snitching. Now, Mackenzie was allegedly paid $10K to shoot Chief Keef. And they're saying, you know, allegedly that Tekashi 6ix9ine pretty much, you know, went in there and told and, you know, pinned, you know, the shooting on this gentleman, Sam Ant. What is good with this one? This one just coming out by way of TMZ. This is crazy, bro. What are you thinking about this right here now, man?
Yeah, well, my first thing would be, before we jump to any conclusions, would this mean that he's about to be released? This means that he's about to post bail if he did, in fact, try to tell somebody.
I wouldn't go that far to say that. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, so it isn't out of the realm of speculation that he could have very well told on somebody, like we were maybe alluding to early on.
They're saying that he definitely told, he cracked under the pressure and told. That was a separate thing from the other stuff they're being, you know, that's the Chief Keef thing. So they're saying he cracked for that. It has nothing to do with the other, you know, the racketeering, him getting off for that. No way. You know what I'm saying? As far as we know right now, you know what I mean?
This seems like a situation that's just getting uglier and uglier about a minute, especially when you find a situation where obviously, you know, the correlations between himself and the organizations that he was trying to run with earlier on in his career or last year when he was talking all the things that he was talking and trying to represent the crews that he was representing. And then obviously when he got pent up, his lawyers were trying to denounce his whole involvement in any of those situations. And now you have a situation where he may have found himself snitching. And we know how ugly that looks. And where he sits at right now behind bars, obviously he's in a unit where he's not near any gang affiliations for his protection. But once word gets around that he's possibly cold, I mean, the word is out now. I mean, this looks ugly and it's getting uglier and uglier. Do you see his legal team playing a damage control situation right now?
Because as of, you know, time of the publication, when it was printed, the legal team hasn't responded back to all media outlets. So I don't know. I think they will. Maybe they might stay quiet. Maybe they might deny it. But right now, you know, it looks like that dude dropped it down. And, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I always, out of all of those guys that did get locked up, it seems like he's the one who was not really the street dude and is more likely, you know, probably never really been locked up like that crazy, is more likely to crack. They use that against guys like that. They'll sit up there and tell you anything. You know what I mean? So, you know, we'll wait for more and more information to come out. But this doesn't look good. Now, it was a brother that came out. I'm so sorry that I forgot his name. But he was coming out and pretty much saying, it's a few videos on YouTube, that Shotty was pretty much dropping the dime, which that might still be standing. I haven't really done a lot of research on that particular topic, but I've been seeing that popping up. You know, like Shotty, you know, is the one telling. But I don't know, man, when your life is on the line and it's shootings in it and they throwing football numbers, guys tend to crack. It looks like 6ix9ine cracked.
Indeed. And the fact that he was indicted Kenyatta McKenzie was indicted directly after apparently 6ix9ine had talked, and they booked him indicted him directly after. I mean, that just, the feds, it seemed like they wanted them to know that 6ix9ine go ahead and did what they did. That's just, if they were trying to protect him in that situation, why go ahead and grab him the second he goes and talks? And if that the case was the fact, who the hell went and reported it to TMZ hours after it happened?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's insane to me how that goes down. And when I see media outlets grab information like this right away, and they're the people breaking the news to us, as far as this goes, this just tells me like this is dangerous. Like somebody wanted to spin the situation to let people know, hey, look, 6ix9ine's telling, 6ix9ine's doing this, 6ix9ine's doing that. When some of this information shouldn't even be allowed for the public to know as of yet.
Right.
Not that quick. I don't know, man. This is ugly.
Yeah, man. It's, it's there. Definitely going to see, again, like more will come out. Like, how do they know this? What information do they have? Do they have a statement by 6ix9ine, a written statement, a recording by 6ix9ine? Him saying it, like, it's very, very interesting, because it's kind of died down, over the past few weeks, when it first popped off, when he first got locked up. This is a big development because we know at last they were trying to get him bail, preparing a bail package, for him. But it's not looking good here. I mean, the reaction on social media is crazy. People calling him Snitch 9 and all that right now. So I see my man Jay Hood. That's why I actually seen it. Jay Hood had posted it, on his Instagram, and that's when I sent it to you. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. You know what I mean? That's here he goes. He says, Snitch 9, all y'all was sitting on here cheering for this clown, shaking my fucking head. Yeah.
A lot of people were cheering for him, but a lot of people were cheering for his downfall as well. I mean, a lot of people watched him rise to success only to see something like this happen. There's a lot of people right now celebrating the fact that I told you so is apparently came about. They knew that he was going to snitch. They, quote unquote, knew that something like this was going to happen in this 6ix9ine case, and now they all have confirmation to it, or so it seems. Right now, it's, man, like I said, this seems like this is a fucked up situation. 6ix9ine obviously isn't out of the smoke yet when it comes to his racketeering charges and everything like that.
Right.
So the fact that this came out right now, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, you said that it was numerous places and numerous sources coming around saying that it was in fact Shotty who was the one snitching. What makes you believe, and this is just us talking because we really have no fucking clue, that it was in fact 6ix9ine? What do you think that this is? Do you think that there is a chance in this situation that it is still in fact Shotty, and the media is grabbing it because obviously 6ix9ine is the most popular figure in this whole case?
I mean, like I said, I don't know. It's just really one man's word. At this point, saying that, what I mean, as far as that he has inside information. A couple outlets ran with it. I didn't really, because I hasn't been verified like that, so I didn't really, speak on. I did see it. And there was a few people who was actually saying that. So yeah, I'm really not sure, man. It really, I don't want to give 100% confirmation, on that. That's a serious thing to put on somebody. But look around, on YouTube and different blogs, and you'll see that people are now saying that brother Shotty, is ratting on people right now. But this report right here that just came out by way of TMZ is pretty much saying that 6ix9ine at least ratted on Chief Keef's supposed shooter.
Yeah, well, we're not jumping any speculation. We're not pointing fingers at anybody. We're just reporting the news right now and being objective about it. We got the word. Everyone just heard it about the situation involving 6ix9ine and another man being indicted for the attempted shooting of Chief Keef in New York. We all seen the telephone call, the TMZ drop, pretty much putting the head out on the whole situation from 6ix9ine, and we thought that was real dumb, the fact that was even recorded. But now it seems like all the dominoes are kind of laying down and falling into place. And like we alluded to at the very beginning of this whole thing, the feds don't play, man. Their percentage of getting their man is very high, and they just seem like their chess move, every time they make a chess move, it's in another direction to win. So
it's almost like they walk you off. It's like they lead the horse with the carrot, but they lead you over the cliff.
Yeah, man.
Got you. Like, what I mean? You walking, your eyes are closed, you looking, next thing you know, you falling. Once you falling, you fall right into their net. So that they're getting, phone calls, they're getting recording, wiretaps, they're getting all this information compiled on you. You're associating yourself allegedly with one of the most notorious street gangs, in the world, throwing up signs, and things like that. So You know, when you're drawing this type of attention to yourself, best believe that you got some people that's in the office that's looking to make a name and say, look, I'm the guy who took down Tekashi 6ix 9ine. I'm the FBI agent or the whatever. We took him down. Whatever. So if you showing them this stuff, just like Kodak Black or anybody else that was caught on camera doing crazy shit, they're going to come and get you, period. Just invite them in. You might as well go knock on the door and say, come on in.
I mean, that's essentially what he did for a whole year. Every hit that he made, every time he dropped something on IG, he was opening his door for them motherfuckers to pay attention to everything he was doing. And then you talk about as far as them going and hitting text messages and FaceTime calls, and now you doing stupid shit on your phone like you some kind of boss. In all actuality, you out here playing and not really involved, or maybe you are. But if you really are involved, who are your OGs telling you to stay the fuck off the phone? Who was telling you to do that? So now you find yourself in a situation that all this clout, all this shit that you were chasing is going to find you in jail, probably for life.
Yeah.
Even if you snitch, even with the snitching shit, that just makes you look worse. Because like you said, the racketeering's still up there. The gun charge is still up there. All of his charges are still pending. He just doesn't want to take the rap for that shooting with Chief Keef. He told him.
Right.
So it's still, this shit's fucked up.
Yeah, it's looking crazy. It's looking real crazy. But we wanted to report that to you guys once again. TMZ pretty much saying that Tekashi 6ix 9ine is running his mouth like water in regard to the Chief Keef shooting, and as well as 3 other men being indicted, for that as well. So yeah, man, that one's definitely crazy right there.
Yeah, that came right across our board the second we started this podcast, which was crazy. So we're glad we got to talk about it. But initially, the reason why we wanted to come together on this Wednesday is obviously we know the situation that happened with Empire actor Jussie Smollet yesterday, or early, what's today? Wednesday. So early Monday evening, early Tuesday morning, going into a subway at 2 a.m., being jumped, assaulted, brutally beaten, allegedly by 2 white men screaming MAGA. We initially reported yesterday, gave our opinion on the situation, very upset, very outraged of the reports of the situation. But the longer we go by and as we drop the videos and we hear the people in the street talking, it's a lot of people out here talking about the story doesn't add up. The story doesn't make sense. Him being at a subway at 2 a.m. when Subway was open, mass coming to jump him and beat him up. We've seen a couple pictures, and it doesn't really seem like he's messed up, even though he's been reported to have broken ribs. This is what's going on. This isn't what I'm saying personally. This is what everybody's allegedly saying right now after the event.
Right.
As of right now, no police have found any surveillance footage putting any men to that situation. Now, they do have a person of interest. That came around probably about an hour ago. They have a couple people in interest in regards to it, but there's no physical evidence, no cameras to show anything happening. So I just wanted to get your opinion, oh God. Now that the story's out, now that we heard everything that's going on, and we hear the outrage that's being poured out, is there a little more to this story than meets the eye?
Well, I seen it first, when I posted it on Uncensored Truth. I started watching the the comments and people saying things weren't adding up. And I began to immediately think like, let me just, because I always like to try to look at all angles. I don't try to get, closed into a box. And, even people close to me started, saying it like, oh yeah, this is that and that. And, the whole MAGA situation. And then I see the reports, like you say, that, the police are now reviewing surveillance. They can't find anybody. They see him, but they can't find anybody. And, the injuries are maybe not consistent with, being, attacked like that. It's a lot of different things, where people are saying, like you said, now they have a person of interest. But one thing I will say is that I wouldn't put it past, anybody to do this. We know that the media is powerful, and that if you can exacerbate the tensions between groups of people by, causing an incident, it's going to happen. You're going to have people going at each other, and you want to control the masses. That's something that has been done, I believe, that they do that with the media, create different events and watch people react a certain way, to push a certain agenda through. So, I don't know. And I always thought, and a lot of people, what's really getting me is the people on the ground in Chicago was just like, nah, that ain't go down there. Like, nah, it was no white dudes in that area. It doesn't sound right. And I'm reading the comments, and anytime you start seeing the consensus you have to start to at least lend your thought to that. Like, oh, okay, maybe they might have some truth to that. So, I don't know. It's a lot, man. But like I said, I would not put this past whoever who would concoct something like this to do for whatever reason. I don't know, but I would not put it past them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, indeed, man. We the type of podcast that likes to just look at the 360-degree spectrum of everything. And although we heard the story, we don't like to just get so crazy and so caught up in the story that we can't look at every fact. So when, like you said, when you dropped it on the Uncensored Truth yesterday and we started looking at the comments and you start seeing people in the general, just the talking of what's going on involved in the situation, there's a lot of skepticism involving the situation. So I started looking more into it. Dude lives in Chicago. He has a apartment in the north side of Chicago, Streeterville, I believe. Streeterville. It's called the Streeterville neighborhood in Chicago, on the north side of Chicago. Started looking up different things, racism in north side of Chicago, what goes on out there. And it is a high percentage of segregation in Chicago between the north side and the south side of Chicago, especially when you hear about a lot of the violence involving the south side of Chicago. We all heard the unfortunate situations out there for years and the gun violence and things like that. When it comes to the north side of Chicago, they see any black people out there, they kind of, they really don't play that shit. There's a lot of tension going on. I've read various reports, even dating back from 2015, 2016, in regards to the tensions involving Chicago between the north and south side. Now, we're not from Chicago. I've never been to Chicago. I know a lot of people from Chicago. I love the city. I love the culture. But for me to sit here and act like this does go on in Chicago or doesn't would be ignorant for me to say, because I've never been there. So when I look up research and I look up things and editorials from various people and various issues, there is a little bit of racial tension in Chicago, in particular between the north and the south side, being as though it's a little segregated. You got your upper class, and then you got your cities in Chicago where you deal with your situation. So it's not too far outside of the realm of speculation for this situation to happen in the location that he was in. Now, whether or not that subway was open at 2 a.m., why he was rolling around by himself. Now, obviously, I just said he lived there, so that kind of adds up too. We just got to look at it 360 degrees, man. We can't jump to conclusions and think automatically that this was staged, but we can't think, based off of the evidence we got now, that it went down exactly how everybody was saying.
Right, and then they also, the newest development here, according to this article, they say police say they'll be releasing pictures of the person of interest very soon. So we'll see how that goes. As far, I mean, it could have been, hundreds of people, in a city like Chicago. I think it's like the third biggest city in the U.S. that walk through. So, crazy, man. But still, with all that being said, it still will have to be something that was highly planned. I just don't see it happen randomly. You know what I mean? Anywhere. I mean, you could be in, Tinseltown. You know what I mean? It's just like, I just don't see it. But you never know, man. I mean, I always tell you about a book I got called Sundown Towns. When I said that in the podcast, people was like, yo, it's sundown town now. I'm like, really? And I get it. It's some areas that if you're a brother, you don't want to be caught at night. You just don't. And there are some areas like that. Now, will you be killed? Maybe by the police if you make the wrong move. If he's, but I'm talking about the police. Civilians, I don't know, but it's America, man. This is America, man. That's all I can say.
Indeed. I know one thing that's kind of jumping out in my head is Chicago. It's a ton of fucking cameras in Chicago. You can't walk around and do anything nowadays without being seen, without being reported. Now, we got people of interest, but there is no video evidence of this situation happening. Now, like you said, for there to be an elaborate plan to make this shit up, to divide races and cause racial tension, that would have to be some kind of elaborate plan. And goddamn, you cynical motherfuckers for doing something like that if this really was a plan. Now, the FBI has notes from different people that just don't like this dude. Don't like the dude because of his sexual orientation. Don't like him because he's black and he's of his sexual orientation and happens to live in the area. There's been numerous threats and reports on this guy's well-being that the FBI is also looking into. And now it kind of coincides with the story that we hear. The fact that we have no camera coverage, but everything seems to be lining up. Like I said, we just got to look at it from a 360-degree angle. Does this stuff happen in America still? Absolutely. We're not used to hearing about it in Chicago, but talk to some brothers and sisters out in Mississippi, Alabama, down there in the southern states, some deep parts of Florida, and I'm sure this story isn't nothing surprising to them. So we just got to see what happens, man. Like I said yesterday on the podcast, you can say me with that victim shit. We got to stop with that. Like, let's not make this a whole victim situation and put a blanket over him and just let this go by. That can't happen. That can't happen at all.
Yeah, no, I think a good person, Khonshu, when he's up back on his feet,
Yeah.
he'll probably give us some good perspective on that in a few days. But yeah, man, that's definitely a situation that we'll continue to monitor. That's interesting. I'm like, damn, everybody thinking now that this is set up after we're gonna do that commentary on this.
Yeah, we did 10 minutes of commentary, put our heart in it. You know what I mean? Felt like we did due diligence, and we like, yo, this shit fake story. Whack. I'm like, damn.
Right. Yeah, but it is what it is, man. It comes with the territory. But definitely, man, Uncensored Truth Podcast. Anybody listening, man, hit the like button, and make sure that y'all share this video if y'all gonna watch this later on. I know you had something over there with Young Dolph.
Indeed, man, the Tennessee rapper Young Dolph. We've given a lot of praise and respect to Young Dolph on here for being an independent artist, making his money, not going to the major labels. You know how we feel over here, the Uncensored Truth Podcast, about labels, independent, major, they all bullshit, garbage. And an artist, they want to keep control of their soul, keep control of their business, keep control of their money. They need to stay independent 100%. We always want to preach that here at the Uncensored Truth. And one of the reasons why we fuck with Young Dolph heavy is because of that reason. Well, he dropped something on his Twitter today saying the record label's been bullshitting. They won't let me drop any music. I knew I should have never signed this fucking deal, which made me go, whoa. I thought you never signed a deal, but then he went on. I have a confession. I signed 2 deals in 2018 and signed a deal back in 2015, So now that it's out that I'm not some big independent superstar and I've signed 4 deals like everyone else, I wonder if all the rappers going to stop hating that. Sorry for shitting on you guys, knowing damn well I got a major deal. First off, talk about him being upset about his major deal. Talk about him even kind of lying a little bit, portraying being independent but being signed the whole time. Does that bother you?
Yeah, that's a little nutty, man. That's definitely like a little, I guess this kind of thing where he's like, fucking, I'm winning. I'm just going to go with it. You know what I mean? And, I'll tell him later on. But yeah, that's a little, I don't know, man. That's like a little curveball there. Like, I don't know why somebody would sit up there and have to lie about that. Just come out, and now you're sitting up here complaining about the fact that you done got yourself tied up, into these major contracts, where, God knows how much percentages they're getting and off what they're getting it off of for how long, So one thing that we can always stand on, though we don't agree with all the people, we do agree with independence. You know what I mean? And being independent and owning the majority, whatever you do, even if it's 51%, you still own the majority. So, you live and you learn, man. I think it's sad, though, that he will portray and lie. And then it makes you wonder, like, well, damn, what else did Cat lie about? Is he particularly lying about, some of the things in his music? And I'm not saying that, but I'm sure people may say that now. Like, is this dude really, who he says he is, since he lied about something so minuscule as a record contract? I don't get it.
Well, it seems like when you're trying to clout chase and you're trying to portray something you'll go ahead and say anything now. If you're throwing around money, if you're throwing around cars, you're throwing around jewelry, if you flex in the way that Young Dolph flexed and you sign to a label, motherfuckers that's real around that ain't real. That's an advance. That's just, you got to pay that back. But an independent artist sitting here doing whatever they want with their music and getting 100% return on their music or whatever they put into it, yeah, you will be able to flex like that a little freer than you would as an independent artist. So maybe he was just trying to clout chase for his peers, trying to portray something that he wasn't with the jewels and all this shit. But like you said, man, you can lie for so long, but the truth always comes to light. And now you're sitting in a situation where you can't even drop a single, drop music, because your label's telling you no. And now come to find out you ain't made all that money you say you did on your music. Damn, man. Now, I'm not a particular, a heavy fan of Young Dolph. I respect what he does. I respect Tennessee rap. And I always respected his grind and his hustle as a businessman, especially assuming that he was independent. But yeah, this takes away from Young Dolph for sure, man.
Yeah, I actually was listening to him on Power 99. He came on, and I was actually liking that shit. It was I'm not again, I probably won't listen to his whole album, but that song was pretty, he got some skills and whatnot. He could definitely spit. But yeah, that's crazy, man. And I don't know, man, but I just hope that, see, what happens is a lot of these guys, they're broke. They come up and they kind of get, suckered in to these different deals because they think they don't have another way out. They always say, don't ever go to the table. Like, you gotta know that you can walk away from that table. Don't feel like I'm stuck. I gotta do this. You know, if I don't, you know, nah, and Master P, you know, everybody knows this infamous story right here where he said he had like, I think $500 to his name, and a record company wanted to sign him for $1 million, I think it was. And he said, like, in the back of his head, he said, "Yeah, I can get this $1 million now," but he said, "I know that if they want to sign me for $1 million, then I can make 40, you know, plus million on my own." And we see now has a huge empire. So hopefully hopefully this doesn't come back to bite him. Looks like it is, you know, in the long run, where he could be like you see now, not even able to drop music when you want to drop your own music. That's crazy. It's so easy to do it on your own and control it on your own. I don't get it, yo.
Bro, how many conversations that we had throughout the years, and you know I'm signed to a label, we sitting there smoking, and you like, yo, let's drop some music. I can't. What you mean you can't? You can record a song, you can put it out, drop a video, you drop the song. Common sense will tell you that makes the most sense. And then, okay, yeah, I could get all the credits for my writing. I get the credits for the video. I do this. I just got to put out a little bit of money and I get the return. Why not do it? Because people are lazy. People are afraid.
Talk about, though, why you wouldn't be able to put out music, though. Like, I don't get it. Like, not being until, like, why can't you put it out? Can you explain that to the people?
I can explain it the best way it was bullshit and explained to me through the label that I used to deal with. Okay. Now, we used to have grievances about why we couldn't put out music at a certain time because we were at a pace where, a turtle pace, where we were doing one song a year. And that really pissed us off because when you look at the output and what we were creating, we would create 3, 4 songs, 5 songs a week in the studio, but then the production wouldn't be there. Like nothing would come out. And the reason and the explanation we got for us is it's very expensive to put out an album. It's not an album, excuse me, a single. It costs money to promote. It costs money to lay it out. A lot of bullshit, especially in 2019 where you don't have to deal with it. When you think about back in the 90s, early 2000s, the rise of the CD, how much it costs for actual CD to be printed up, to be distributed, to be laid out. I mean, even the cost of shipping and handling, if you got a thing of 30 CDs, that shit costs money. It's a lot of overhead involved in that. 2019, when you could simply just go and stream it, there's no real money involved. And especially when you got platforms like you and I, us together, where we could properly promote music, today's age, like no other, it's like a renaissance. It should be people getting paid for their music like no other. But you get involved in label situations where that money looks good or that fame looks good, and you sign and you get put in a situation where you get bullshit and railroaded the whole time. I bet you he's not gotten legitimate reason as to why his songs aren't out. The reasons that we got is because of money and overhead. But then when we had a counter to that, like we have our own platforms where we can go ahead and properly promote. We have our own the distribution shouldn't be anything. Just lay it out and we'll do all the promotion. We paid for our own videos. We paid for our own photo shoots. So what overhead is there? They just don't, they want to hold you down.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. I can see it though. I mean, but that's why it's always great to maintain the control for yourself because nobody can hold you back. I mean, like you said, they got so many different platforms where, you know, our guys are now creating music on their phone, mixing it and putting it out. Might not be the most perfect product, but sometimes you don't need that. We were talking about some podcast. You were saying that the guy is getting millions of views, making millions of dollars, and there's all types of wind in the background. So it doesn't always equate. It might not be 100%, but it hits the people right. They like the melody, they like the beat, they like the words, and it becomes a hit. So it's just like, you know, maintain control, put it out through your own avenues, and watch the money, you know, fall in, and you get 100% of it, and then you disperse it. It's easy, but you know, some people, you know, they have made it very convenient because one, they control the distribution channels, so you kind of still have to go to them to a certain extent, you know, as far as with distribution. But you know, guys are doing it with YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud. They own stuff, so it can be done. It definitely can be done independently. We've seen, you know, thousands of examples of that.
There's no doubt. Let me think. All right, I'm a 13, 14-year-old kid. I love music. I love singing. I want to get into music. In 2019, this is what I'm going to do. This is just my thinking. I go ahead and create the content, and then I'm sitting there hustling. I'm getting with people on YouTube. I'm emailing you. I'm emailing the top 10, 15 people that I watch on YouTube do hip-hop commentary that I know are no different than you or I. They're not the Hot 97s. They're not the Breakfast Clubs where I could walk in with my demo and be denied probably before I walk in the door. Nah, I could sit back and interact and network with these people. And if I hit 10, 15 people up, one of them are going to bite. And if one of them fuck with my music and they share it, I'm out of here. You just gave yourself free distribution.
Yeah. Yeah.
2019, why not? If you own the music, if you own the production, if nothing as far as samples, if everything could be legally cleared and you put it through your main distribution to where you're starting to get money from it, you put it through your publishing house and things like that. And then you go and you interact with certain people that you know are buzzing out here that are no different than you or I or yourself sitting in that situation. You got to learn how to hustle, man. You don't need labels in 2019.
It's easier than ever, like you say that. Like, for example, you had to walk up to the label and 9 times out of 10, probably 10 out of 10, you're going to get kicked out of the building. Now you can just tag a dude and sneak it and he can hear it and say, oh, you know what I mean? It's just so like the floodgates are open with the internet. You just have to be creative on what to do. And the crazy part is like people are going to see this, young artists, and they're going to take what we said and they're going to run with it and they're going to become the next independent star. I guarantee it.
They got to. You got to water the root, not the flower. You got to start at the bottom. Everybody wants to go up top and thinking they're at the top, but you're not getting anything out of watering the flower. You got to water the root, grow with it. So if you got somebody out here that's grinding and rising, you got to take note of that and be smart and kind of look at that and go, okay, I need to water that root right there and be a part of that rising situation so that I can go ahead and blossom just like everything else. You trying to water flowers that are already established. Can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that to me doesn't really take nothing. Like I said, I don't really rock with Young Dolph too heavy like that. I do like some of his music, but just a crazy situation. Hope no other rapper is lying about that.
That's a fact, man, and that's just them. Hey, you got your music when you want to. God dang, that's simple.
Definitely, man. But yeah, man, y'all tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Old God and Sam, man. A special Wednesday night edition. Had 3 powerful stories that we went through tonight. 6ix 9ine allegedly snitching. We talked about the Jussie, Smollet, that possibly being fake or hoax, and as well as Young Dolph complaining about his major deal after he said it was independent, man. Crazy, crazy. But as you know, man, we'll be back tomorrow, and Friday night, 8 p.m. with our live show, definitely.
Yeah, man, excited to shoot it. Great show tonight. We're coming at you 5 days a week, it looks like. When we feel like we'll come at you any day. So always be ready to get that notification. Hit the notification bell on Viral Hip Hop News. Hip Hop News Uncensored, and of course the Uncensored Truth podcast to get all your latest news and stories from your brothers right here, man. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
Indeed.